there's a chance.
Yeah, well, here's how we figure it out. We just stop trying to do math. We put away our calculators and we take a peek at this game. It is time for game number 2 here. And first, we are going to jump on with Zachary. Definitely a good choice there from our observers. We've already seen Zachary get some work done here live from TwitchCon.
Yeah, taking down that first game, and he's going to be on this really far side of the map here. He'll be able to land. There's quite a bit of loot. There's an opportunity at a few different vehicles here. We'll see what he's able to pull off, but ton of options here. Nobody else in the area. He's going to have a lot of free loot there.
And now we are going to see this looting phase play out, and we have a bunch of new players, or viewers actually tuning in right now who maybe haven't gotten to see the rest of the tournament. We should talk a little bit about how H1Z1 does work. When you actually do get down onto the map, you don't have anything at your disposal. You got to get in, grab your weapons, grab your ammo, and try to get helmets and armor. On top of that, you're going to be looking for vehicles as well. Now, how does this first early game phase actually play out?
Plays out fairly slow. Every now and then you're going to see maybe 1 or 2 early game kills. Most of these guys are going to be running around trying to either stay away and get loot on their own, or maybe go for an early game kill if they feel that everything else is looted. Like, let's say Soul C got here a little late, Blast Lord had already looted everything. He may decide if he has something to try and eliminate Blast Lord for the loot. But you typically don't see that. With 75 players on the map, there's usually enough loot to go around. When you're in the normal matches of 150 non-competitive mode, there's usually not enough loot to go around, so you see a lot of early game kills there.
Right now, we may actually see one of those early game kills. T-Rex taking a little bit of fire there, knows that it's a bad fight and definitely too early. Going to Enas out of that situation just a little bit. You can see that strafe coming in.
Yeah, and a little bit of that Enas, that left-right strafe as he tries to get away. We've got Rethink, TNT, Reigns, and Enzo, all guys that are been around for quite a while. Rethink and Reigns, guys that I've seen play quite a few times in the private servers, and Enzo, who showed up, and I believe he took down a game yesterday.
And we are going to see our first safe zone is completely different than what we had seen previously in this Challenger Series today. It's going to be catching it catches all of PV here, and then it catches Spence Hills as well. But most likely, it could just pull around the banks of Runamuk River, and that could mean some just absolute bloodshed as we progress in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's an interesting new POI over there, which is the ranch, and there's a bunch of like stables and houses, a lot of more close range combat, which is a potential for an ending zone there. We'll see if it does close in on that POI, but that's one that can cause some of those shotgun battles, grenades through windows, get to see people maybe try and outflank each other. So definitely a cool spot to see the game finish at least for us.
Yeah, that's always kind of the thing that we go back to. What's exciting for us is probably so terrible for the players.
It's just
I'm
so
like, yeah,
stressful.
can we get a PV finish, please? Like every single time I want to see that city finish. But for the players, that's some of the most stressful finishes. You know, a lot of close range fights that even if you are perfectly on point, you could just go down. 1 second going to be the difference between staying up and being able to take the player down. So far, we do have 2 players falling. Subsy going to rotate around, may be on a collision course for Sultan.
Yeah, I think what you were just saying is really interesting too, though, is that like it's stressful, but oh, and we're gonna have that opening shot. Subsy is gonna get that shotgun kill. He'll be able to put on a new helmet and heal up. But it's really interesting because that stressful situation is somewhat of the appeal of the game. When you win in those scenarios and you're the one that takes down that game, when everything is just hitting the fan and going ballistic and just nuts all over the place, it's such a good feeling. It's a stressful game. The tension continues to build up. It cuts down a little bit when you get to that top 10, the game slows down, but when it gets down to that final 2, that is where all the stress just kind of kicks back in, the high pressure, and it's an awesome feeling of relief and just glory when you take down a match.
Yeah, and then you can also just pair that with taking home huge amounts of prize money. That would probably feel pretty good as well.
Yeah, it probably feels better here on land when they pay you to do it. It doesn't exactly pay you when you win the game normally.
It's going to increase
here it's going to feel a lot better.
It's going to increase the stress and definitely increase the relief. Operation now inside of this police car, going for a little bit of a ride. We are still very much in this early game, seeing these players trying to find as much loot as possible. But what type of areas do these players want to start to head to as the gas advances over this next minute?
I mean, they're going to just finish up their looting phase here pretty soon, and they're going to start moving in about 50-ish seconds when the gas gets released. They're going to try and either, one, go immediately for center safe zone so that they have the shortest distance to travel to the next safe zone, or they're going to try and find some spots where they can ride in along the edge of the gas. Nice 2-hit there for Fist in the Wind, hanging out in the back of this building. Didn't have to go for an airdrop to get that one.
That is going to be a huge windfall coming in. Full Nelson is behind this fence here. 2 houses, 2 players. We'll have to see if they do end up meeting each other. We will see Kev the Kid for the win coming on by in his vehicle. It doesn't look like he has any intent of stopping. Full Nelson, though, already moving far into the backyard here and over the hills. Still does not have a vehicle to his name.
Yeah, he does not have a vehicle yet, and this safe zone is going to pull away from here, so he will have to start running pretty soon. I don't think the safe zone came out that far off of the edge of PV. He might be just safe. I'm pretty sure it's pulling down farther towards Runamuck Lake, though, into that southwest corner, so he might have to start running.
For now. I mean, like you said, that PV is definitely caught at the top portion of that ring. Fight coming out here from Zachary. Zachary also being one of those slayers that we did see in this previous match. Taking a look right now at White Chaos behind the tree right now, going to try to bait him out by using a throwable. Gonna connect to White Chaos, get some shots in. Just 1 shot away from taking him down. Zachary completely healthy. Tree lit ablaze. Shots finally coming in to Zachary. A little bit of pressure, but he's able to shrug it off. White Chaos going to fall to Zachary. 71 players are still going to be up here in match number 2. Zachary taking as much loot as possible, trying to wiggle around just a little bit in case any shots do come in. He has definitely dotted his I's and crossed his T's, making sure that no other players are around, making sure he wasn't going to get caught by the pinch, but it always does pay to just be a little bit extra safe. First kill going to be in the pocket of Zachary.
Yeah, being paranoid in this game is typically really good to keep you alive. You should always just assume that somebody's crosshair is on you. Do not stop moving. Do not, if your hand's cramping up, fight through the pain. Do not try and stretch your hand out. You need to stay in motion. The second you stop, there's a high likelihood that somebody is going to two-tap you. Unless you are fully surrounded by walls and inside of a building, you're never safe.
Give me a 2-tap. We haven't seen a 2-tap so far in this Challenger Series. We're going to see Runny go down here. It is going to be to a grenade as well. Now IMXP getting a little bit of shots, and Subsy goes down as well, down to 69 players.
Yeah, Ryan getting the hat. That might have been a 2-tap right there. Couple shots coming out. Moose getting hit by IMEXP, and he looks like he wants it. He is going to swap to that shotgun and go for the push. He is going to go ahead and risk it, and he does get that connection. Moose coming back around on that left side almost takes him out, but he does get the connection to finish off that fight.
Man, that felt just as good as a 2-tap. Honestly, that was a pretty awesome kill to get to see. But question for you, Supersonic, is it really a 2-tap if we don't get to see it? All of a sudden, taking a look at the binoculars as we do see a crate getting picked up here.
Is this one of those, like, if a tree falls in a forest type of questions? I'm not good at these.
It is, man. I need an answer to. We are going to see inside of the cop car now is our player, Xantrix, inside of the Jeep as well.
Yeah, Xantrix here going to go ahead and drive off. As we were talking about, he is the only representative of Team ISM. See how see if he's able to show up here towards the end of this match. Snotty G, though, trying to get some shots down into Crossover. He has connected once into the armor. Crossover, though, able to heal up, still in good health, has decent amount of ammo. He'll be all right as they separate from each other.
Now taking a look at Sharky. Some of the first looks that we've gotten of Sharky so far in this match. Impact, Logan, and Wild seem to be in a little bit of scuffle, about 300 meters off. And now on board with Class. You were talking about Class coming in 11th place last time around. Definitely a player that we know can do incredible things. Enzo getting some shots dumped into the police car, down at about 3/4 of its original health. But Rev going to be taken down here by Dr. Drew TV the Bison. We've seen
he gets the heal off right at the last possible second, almost bleeds out. But I believe you were about to go into talking about Drew. He was definitely going off day one in his match.
He was going off, and also we've just seen player being relatively consistent. Rev getting knocked out 2 times very early. We'll have to see what Rev can do in this third game. I'd really like to see Rev. We've seen Rev as such an aggressive slayer. Maybe when Rev does play in that third game, goes for that $1,000. That would be a sight to see as well. Now on top of the roof, we find Reigns trying to gather some information here. It looks like Dadbod is close by, but definitely shrouded by these. Oh, he's actually going to be on the roof as well.
Yeah, he's tucked himself in there kind of safe against the edge of that. As soon as he comes up, though, do expect shots to be fired, and the other player does have the advantage of being able to see him a little bit better. So that height advantage probably going to come into play in this combat.
We haven't seen too much roof action go down as well. You know, the roofs, it obviously going to be very dependent on where the ring is. This is a ring that does support that quite a bit. But the other thing is in fives, is really when we see it. Both these players going to stand up here. We definitely do have a fight. Some rifling action going out. That throw will going to miss just shortly of the building. Dadbod taking a huge amount of damage here. Reigns dominating in this rifle fight. Dadbod should fall down. He jumps off the building, but not in time. His corpse is going to plummet down to the ground. Reigns reigning supreme, going to jump on over here to the train track, get down to the ground. He wants to make sure that he grabs everything on that fresh dad bod.
Yeah, he's going to go get that, and you can see that he has the boots on, and that's one of the changes that we talked about earlier. This is one of the first times we got to see it, but it absorbs so much damage for you when you jump. So boots just take away all the fall damage for you almost. He only took maybe 4 or 5 points of damage for that far of a drop. So boots allow you to have a lot of options. They're a little bit louder so people hear you coming up sooner, but the amount of outplay that you can do with them and extra options you have inside city fights, jumping off roofs, etc. is huge.
And it's one of those things, it's just like, hey, if you kill everyone around you, they're not going to hear your footsteps. Seeing exactly that come in and getting some loot in that city. Could potentially go back to the top of the building as well. Definitely a relatively safe place, but we actually have seen players with rings like this, if they do get too high on the roofs and then the ring goes the wrong way, they could really expose themselves. So you're putting all your eggs in one basket there. G Murda getting some shots into Meowth.
Gets
from long range, maybe able to pick up the kill, just needs one more. Trying to line up this one.
Not going to be able to get it there, but he does catch a couple as Meowth was not strafing the vehicle. He was not doing the left-right. He kind of found his line there for a second when the shot stopped and decided he could drive straight and got a couple more shots in the back for it. Almost loses his life.
Sharky jumping on with Sticky Rice. You get to see that ring for just a second there. It does look like we are going to see that new area gas going to advance in about a minute here. Now seeing Ryan. Got to see Ryan quite a bit throughout that first Challengers match of the day. Flowers taking a little bit of damage here. It's going to be Reptar inside of that cop car, moving around the tanker. Gets back just a little bit. Reptar so aggressive time and time again, and it looks like we are actually I'm surprised.
It's actually explosive tip arrows. I thought when it scoped in that it was the hunting rifle, but he is
for a
actually
second
running
there,
a crossbow Reptar with explosive tips.
Reptar inside of the cop car, running a relatively nuanced loadout here. Flowers behind the tree.
Yeah, that's something that we saw start happening at TwitchCon last year. It was pretty interesting to see it happen. It's one of the things that OG Triv from playing with Yogi and those guys in team games, he actually likes to use that quite a bit. Not many players, though, do make use of that or the SMG.
Reptar just circling around his prey right now, but Flowers not going to be an easy fish to take a bite out of. We've already seen Flowers throughout the entire Challenger series. He looks at the camera for a second, gives us a little wave.
Yeah, and now we've got that safe zone going ahead and pulling to the southwest. It is pulling down towards that ranch. I think we may end up getting the majority of the ranch into that final safe zone.
So what can we expect out of that safe zone for players who, or for viewers who haven't necessarily seen that ranch play out? Plane coming overhead right now, need to make sure they don't get hit by the bombs. Crossover going to fall down here to Rye Gaming. Sloth jumping back in that Jeep. But as you were saying, with that ranch, what can all the viewers at home expect to see?
They can definitely expect to see some close range encounters, similar to what the fairgrounds was, but a little bit more open, not nearly as chaotic. But there are the residential areas. There's a couple larger buildings there, horse stables and some things that they can make use of. Reptar here still trying to find Flowers. Hasn't figured out that he's not at the rock, he's at the tree. Zach, though, going to get himself a kill with an AK onto IMEXP. But that ranch does give some options. It also has some pretty cool, like, little brick walls, little pony walls, different things that you can kind of crouch walk behind, try and get new angles. So it has some fun elements to it.
Now we will have to see Flowers and Gangstar move on over to this safe zone. Gas starting to advance. New ring going to be up here right now, and it is getting tighter and tighter. And the exact finish that you did articulate just a little bit earlier is what we can expect to see inside of this gas station. It is Rye Gaming looking at Party Girl, trying to get some shots into Party Girl.
Party Girl going to make a run for it, finds a vehicle. You see that little jump in, gets right at the bumper, makes it into the car, and is going to be able to drive away.
Party Girl not looking for that party at all. Oh, coming back right now. Okay, just driving off into
thought
the
about it, had a second thought about it, but had to get out of there. Meowth in a close range fight. Can he find the shotgun pump before he goes down? And it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Gets one tag, not enough. The body armor ends up saving Eric. The makeshift saves him from certain death, and he does end up getting that kill.
Now Eric just going to be able to heal up. No players around. Party Girl still in the wings here, trying to decide if this is the party she wants to go to or not.
Hanging out. Just waiting to see. But Party Girl not going to get it there. Has come in a couple times, but backed off every single time. I don't think Party Girl's actually going to take that fight. There's no way to really get up close enough without getting shot at by Riot Gaming. Dark Team Paint here looking for Snotty. Steps out, takes a shot, but gets hit in the back there from Raj Babe. Cinco gets tagged again, loses the 2-hit. Dark Team losing a little bit of resources there.
Dark Team inside of that cop car, going to pop out here now behind the rock. Going to, can you actually see Raj trying to get some shots in very far away, about 300 meters off into the distance.
Definitely
not going to be able to get,
hit.
yeah, very hard shot to hit as well. Now we can see Nadaraj here. Nadaraj, you remember last time, actually choked out, didn't quite make that pilgrimage.
Yeah, definitely wants to step up. He wants to get some combat this game. He does not want to go down to the gas without getting to fire any shots again. That is never the way you want to play. It feels awful to go down and not even get a chance to fire a shot.
Do you see Nadaraj on your servers quite a bit?
Nadaraj is definitely somebody that's been playing on all the servers. He's been around for quite a while. So
we saw him at DreamHack as well. So Nadaraj definitely a player that you can expect big things out of. Didn't come out that big in the last performance. In behind that smoke right now. Now going to allow a couple shots into Dark Team Paint. Dark Team Paint going to get a little bit aggressive here, hiding behind those logs, moving back to the police car now. We'll have to see as the shots do start to come into the police car if Dark Team Paint wants to take this fight. Moving around right now, trying to see if there is a good line, but it looks like he's going to go into full retreat. T-Rex up behind this hill looking at Pone. Maka Pone was absolutely incredible earlier on in this Challenger Series. Now it's going to be Reptar that we are back online with again.
Still got that crossbow and the explosive tip strapped to his back. Probably the only player in the match with that. As we said before, we just don't typically see players making use of that in these games. And we do have a couple shots going now. Wasn't able to catch who it was, but Jordan, a.k.a. Nadraj here, up against Raj Babe Cinco, has been tagged, getting a little heal off. Sloth playing the underside. Looks like he might be trying to get a flank play off onto Frankie, coming underneath the bridge. He is going to go ahead and wrap around, but Frankie gets into a vehicle and drives away. MX Riders right here to the right of Sloth, though, in that camper. See if this fight happens.
Sloth popping out here from the smoke. We're going to have to see if they actually do see each other. Sloth going to move away, though, right now. This may ensure that the fight doesn't happen. Eric's still inside of this camper since we did leave him. Now he is going to find a potential fight, getting some shots into that Jeep. Jeep going to be degrading rapidly here. Not going to connect too much onto Zach. Zach taking about 1 or 2 shots there.
Lost an armor and a helmet there, though. That second shot could have been a 2-tap out of the car. Wow. That was a nasty first shot.
I didn't even see that helmet pop off. That's how quick Zach did get another one back on there. So kudos to him. Should be able to survive this one. Looks like he does have more body armor as well, throwing on potentially another makeshift there. Eric letting out more shots here from this camper. He's been perched here for quite some time. Look at how much loot he just has inside of that camper as well.
He's stacking it. He's like, I can't carry this. Let me get a kill, go out, loot them, bring their loot back in, stuff it in the bottom. I'll just use this like a car trunk and just try and keep as much as I can with me. He's got makeshifts made on the ground, extra ammo for the AR. I think he had a throwable or 2 in there as well.
Just an immobile car right now. And you talk about throwables being way heavier, right? So it does make a lot of sense to try to be able to hoard them all in one location. Optimal, obviously, is going to be that trunk, so you're kind of more mobile. You can bring them with you no matter where you go. But if that camper ends up staying into the safe zone for a long period of time, we'll be able to use that to great lengths. Party Girl inside of the truck, and that truck is taking quite a bit of damage, going to start losing some handling. And now we can see the ring tightening up just a little bit, and it's pretty clear where this ring is going to go at this point. Starting to move a little bit away from Cranberry. What do you think about being around this river bend?
The riverbend's going to start coming into play once we get another circle or two closed in. One side of the riverbend's going to be good, one side of the riverbend's going to be bad depending which way it shifts, but the edge of the rivers typically, as long as you have gas at your back, is really good. It's just got a ridge line all the way around, so you have a ton of room to just go ahead and flank sides, get angles. Those riverbeds work out really, really well.
Now seeing Nadraj again here in match number 2. First time, as we did already say, we did see Nadraj not make it into the safe zone, choking out. Nadraj looking much better here. Doesn't have body armor, though, or a vehicle. And that kind of seemed to be the problem last time around as well. Nadraj not having the vehicle. Yeah. Huge resources to be missing here, especially this late into the game. Sloth moving around right now. It seems that Sloth did just get into combat, and still Yornit in pursuit.
Yeah, I mean, and Yorkin looks like he's using explosive tips as well. But one of the things to talk about with vehicles and not having vehicles is, with a vehicle, you can close the distance. Let's say your vehicle's getting lit up. You can close the distance and steal somebody else's vehicle. It is much harder on foot to walk up to somebody and get that done. Dare Detox just landing shot after shot, and he is going to delete J-Rod from this match. J-Rod unable to return a single shot into him. Gonna get taken out.
And now Dare Detox still looking at the situation. You can see that it probably has good information on the fight. If he actually does see in kill feed those 2 players that were in that fight near him, he may go in and just try to finish off the kill, just get a free one there. On with Frankie right now. This was one of those players inside of the building right now. Also has a pretty decent stash going here.
Just in the wind, getting himself a headshot kill somewhere else on the map. Not able to catch that, but yeah, Frankie has himself a building. Raj is a building. Lethal Jake. So this plays out very much the same way that we see residentials play out. Everybody's kind of got a building, kind of how we did in the fairgrounds yesterday. Everybody has their own little tent. They're going to hang out for a few minutes, and then it's just going to be forced out, and we're going to see which side has to move to the other side. And that's when you start seeing the choke points happen and players start getting eliminated on the move. And then it becomes down to, can I outgun the other guy while on the move?
Mitch Gaming taking damage to both body and car here. Another drop coming down. We haven't seen like any hunting rifles actually inside of these drops so far. We'll have to see if this one does actually have one inside. We've already seen just how deadly they can be, whether it was in All-Stars, Legends, or even the Challengers qualifying matches. Karma just kind of being the one guy to really show off what it can do. Now this time around, we will have to see, because we've only had body armors. We had a lot of 2 hits in there. We've had some gas, but we just haven't had
hunting rifles in there. It's so much harder in this bracket and in Legends bracket to go for it. Karma definitely went for them, and he was that aggressive, better shot in the game that could, as you were saying yesterday, bully people off of it. It's a lot harder in this, with all these guys being confident in their shot, to bully somebody off of something. And again, we're not going to see the hunting rifle in there. It's going to be the body armor and the gas can. So a lot of these just kind of getting people's hopes up and then just dashing their dreams when they get there.
Right now, we are going to see another kill popping up as well. 58 players still do remain here. Gas advancing.
Yep, Cam Soda hanging out here, looking for a couple shots that are coming out from, I believe, Drew over there, the Bison, throwing some shots, not able to connect, and gonna hop out, take a couple shots towards Promethean, but he's gonna get hit in the back from Impact Afro.
Cam Soda, yeah, goes for one fight, finds another. Now going to hop onto this ATV just to get over to this. Oh, actually going to stay on the, okay, that's what I thought. Going over to the ATV to get into the police car just a little bit quicker. Dark Team Paint situated right next to the police car as some side cover. You can see that steam coming out here. That is going to show that that vehicle has started to take a considerable amount of damage.
Stover is going to get eliminated by Impact Logan. Elsewhere on the map, we have Spirits all the way down here in this corner with Cam Zoda possibly coming up on him. See where he ends up being at, but Dare Detox in a fight here with Darren Delta. Darren Delta gonna hop out and get eliminated on a headshot there from Dare Detox, landing some very nice AK shots.
Yeah, we actually did see Detox just take a quick second there, make sure to take those items out of the inventory, actually plop them on, getting on the helmet, getting on the body armor, and now this ring going to look absolutely deadly. Players are gonna have to traverse across that lake to actually get to the safe, sorry, across that river to actually get to the safe zone.
Yeah, that river has a great spot, though. You can see just barely the edge of the river, and the riverbank on the right side is available. The person that gets that should be able to hang out at least safely until that next circle goes, but he should be able to get a lay of the land from that point. Now, he would have to decide to play the edge of the gas, though, and then come in with it, but there's a lot of pluses to that position. You're very much out of harm's way.
We are going to see a few of the players still up on the roof here as well. Impact Logan going for a little roll and a stroll. Has Flower right in the crossfires, going to try to get a couple of shots in before dipping back down. Yorkinid, we already saw after that fight, being able to maintain relatively good standing. Cam Soda here looking to be in dire straits.
Yeah, Cam Soda is extremely low. An explosive tip arrow comes out from Yorkin, not able to get a connection to do any enough damage to blow the vehicle up. So Cam Soda gets away. Yorkin going to step inside, though, and Lethal Jake is already inside. Sorry, the resident was home, and he has put you down.
Now Rethink is going to be the player in our focus. Shots flying all abound, but this cop car able to avoid quite a few of them. It's already taken quite a bit of damage throughout the duration of this game, and it just needs a couple more shots before it really starts to see the effects of just that. Noble Spirits goes down to Rye Gaming. We have Mitch's Gaming, too, right around this cabin, actually moving back just a little bit behind the fence. Eric in a bad place here, needs to drop that smoke to try to avoid toppling over, and running into the smoke, it's going to be Zach cutting him on down, making it look really easy here. Reptar going to pick up a kill. It's on to Party Girl. We talked about Reptar potentially being a Slayer. The way that he qualified was by being a successful Slayer at another convention. So now when he is here at TwitchCon, we'll have to see if that is something that can be repeated. Reigns behind this tree, Supersonic.
Yeah, Reigns just hanging out. He's got a couple players out ahead of him. Grenade coming out from him onto Hamu JP, who was another one of those players that qualified in through another convention. Hamu hopping around, trying to throw a few shots, gets a grenade, I believe, into TNT Reigns, down to 9%. Out comes the grenade. Is it going to connect? It does not. Little far in the throw. He's really lining this one up. Bounces, though, on the strafe, bounces the gas nade back into him, takes his own cover away, and he's going to have to disengage from the fight. That's enough to have to force himself off of it. So misplay with that nade.
I believe the kids say, feels bad, man.
Yeah, that does not feel good at all. He definitely was in control of that fight until that point, and he ends up backing himself off with his own zone denial.
Hamu JP as well may just go down here. Mock it. Pone going to be able to cut him down after a huge play error actually coming in. And one of the things to note with Hamu JP, like you did say, one of those players to qualify from TwitchCon, sorry, not from TwitchCon, before TwitchCon, at the Tokyo Game Show for TwitchCon. So when he actually does sit down here, he hasn't necessarily gotten the reps that some of the other players have had on this setup to qualify. Definitely a scenario that you do want to be in, but could be cold on those controls. Class going to get cut down early here as well. It's going to be to the hands of Slappy. Now we're going to see Drama moving around. That is really bad for Class, one of our pro players. And just like this, we have a close range fight going on here. Shots not going to connect quite yet. Just like that, one does ring out. We see both of these players relatively even. Lethal Jay going to get cut down. Dramas has about one more shot left in him. Flowers, Nardosh, and Enzo all getting cut down. Trosma, one of our leading Slayers, going to get cut down as well. The powder keg has been lit, and we will see these deaths continue. Now jumping on for another fight. Bloodshot Owens going to go down, as well as Dark Teen Pain on board with Slappy, who has just picked up a kill. 2 for him so far in this match. 34 players remain after that absolute onslaught of kills, and just like that, we're down to 33. I can't even keep up at this point. T-Rex, Impact Logan.
He just found a free 2-hit sitting in that building. This entire area is completely packed. Nobody looted it. Just a free 2-hit for him as he hopped in that building. We just saw 30 players drop almost in 30, 45 seconds. So this safe zone obviously shows that there's not enough room to host that many people. And we do see some gas nades coming out from MX Riders onto Spotty, and Dare Detox now starting to push up into the back of Spotty. He's in a rough spot here. He has players pushing on him from both sides.
All of these players are going to start getting very kill hungry after seeing the kill feed look like that. Looking for some potential weak players who are involved in those fights, trying to bring them down. Slappy's going to pick up another one here. It's Spotty hanging out behind this building. Doesn't see anyone around him at this point. Could bode relatively well for It's Spotty, as actually see the movement come in to the new safe zone. Gas about to advance here in about a minute. Dare Detox going to see It's Spotty now. Going to have this gas as well as some additional cover. It's Spotty moves back behind around this building, avoiding that fight for now. Dare actually going to move on over to the right instead of just lining up this shot. 27 players left. Cam Soda just going to close the door, wants some alone time.
Yeah, Cam Soda is going to go ahead and hang out here inside this building. He's definitely got the alone time that he wants. Drama's right inside, though, with a smoke nade. He's not going to have vision towards the location of Cam, so even if Cam steps out, Drama's not going to be able to see it, but there are some throwables coming out that might be Cam Soda throwing through the window of that camper. MX Riders and Fist in the Wind both disengaging from each other with some smoke nades. They seem to be rotating somewhat into the same direction, though. Frankie throwing a couple shots, able to get connections, gets a couple shots in his back, though, loses his 2 hits. It looks like Dare Detox throwing a lot of shots out here on all sides. He has been that bully from that side, as you like to say, and he's getting some shots into everybody.
Now, also Dare Detox, though, you could see the ammo definitely reflects that as well. Not going to have too much to work with as we move into the later portions of the game. Drama's going to use this throwable right here. You see that Molotov cocktail just absolutely rips it over to, we'll see what happens in that in just a second. Wild now trying to aim up some shots. Molotov cocktail of his very own. Ryan going to be going down here. Wild trying to line up these shots. A little bit of Ninaz coming out, trying to close that space just a little bit. Going to take one shot, but he should be able to get down Snotty, but Snotty comes back, taking down Wild. Yeah, Snotty going to move over here, try to get that loop, but Snotty does need to get healthy before he does just that. Worried that there may be players in the wings. Jumping on board with the Bathroom Hero right now, locked up inside of the stall. Orange Morange and Fist in the Wind in a fight, but Rethink going to be the one who gets taken down. Only 20 players remain. Snotty was not able to heal up. We see Afro able to take him down. Now we're back on board with Spotty. He has rotated. It's going to be a shotgun battle. He's able to take out Cam Soda, who was camping out in that camper for so long, and more kills coming in. Supersonic, we see Detox go down, Zach go down, McLaughlin go down, and now on board with MX Riders. We can see has crosshairs on a very low health player here. Afro taking some huge shots as well. Only 16 players still up. Afro moving back to the gas, gets down low, crouching behind this gate, trying to stay alive feebly. Astral Relic going to fall down, and now we have Dramas and Mitch Gaming inside of the smoke. They may be able to connect here. Dramas is very low in this situation. Afro still behind this gate.
Yeah, Afro has a little bit of line of sight cover from those bushes. Does have a little bit of cover from the railing, but it's not going to save him for long. And we do hop back over to Dramas, who's in this smoke nade with Mitch's Gaming, just throwing smoke nade after smoke nade down. Neither player able to find each other. And we have Reptar right here on the outside of this. MX Riders finally spotted, goes ahead and tries to rotate around the around the smoke nade here. Sloth coming inside. Neither of these guys can see each other. We've seen it many times. These smoke nades are so thick, you cannot see inside of them. You can't see yourself. You can't see anyone. We've got Dramas in another close range encounter. Inside helmet already off against It's Spotty with the shotguns. Both players reloading single shells and then taking single shots. Dramas trying to get a few shots loaded before he starts the combat again. Able to get a few off, not able to connect yet. Neither player able to hit the shot of the ENAS. Both ENASing so hard, and It's Spotty gonna win that super long shotgun battle against Dramas.
And that means we only do have 11 players remaining. And we are going to see right now with this overhead view where all the chips have fallen, and we can see they are all clustered around this one building. Full Nelson hanging out by the dumpster. We got Orange Moran, Fist in the Wind, It's Spotty inside of the building. T-Rain's on the outskirts, and now Impact Afro has gotten healthy and through the smoke, going to connect into Rise Gaming. Not able to get him down, just needs to connect once or twice more to be able to bring this player down. Going to bide the time inside of the smoke, rotating over to the left, but looking once again, Rise Gaming will fall down. Top 10 territory. These are the most points that you can be getting here. We'll have to see who can outslay as well. It's Spotty has been able to pick up 4 kills here. You can see everyone else hanging out and around that 2 area. Frankie throws out that throwable into the smoke, knowing the player should be there, looking back and forth to the smoke, seeing who will come out first, jumping back on board, able to get down Riders.
Yeah, and we're back on board with Frankie as he's getting shots coming in from the other side from TNT Reigns. Nothing connecting yet, and he is going to start rotating. Frankie checking all angles, making sure there's nobody in the gas. Operation gets taken out by Reptar. Reptar, really good health, has the heal already going up. He'll hit 100% armor and helmet on, so he's in a good position here. And this is where these fights start getting isolation, and we're going to see Reptar step out and just obliterate Frankie with that AK spray, but he starts to get eaten by Afro. So the return comes around, and Reptar gets eliminated.
Impact Afro still with those 6 kills, looking really good here. Shotgun battle going to go down in the same building that we saw it go down before. Fist in the Wind versus It's Spotty. It's Spotty coming out on top again. Top 5. We're going to see someone crash into the building. Full Nelson going to be able to to finish up the supper, taking out its body. Now 4 players do remain, one of them going to be Orange Morange inside of this building, just hiding behind this door as long as possible, doesn't want to take a fight early. Full Nelson very low here, T-Reigns and Impact Afro may be the first fight we see inside of the woods. We do see that throwable come out. T-Reigns going to try to get aggressive, moves up one tree. A game of leapfrog going to go down here, closing the space, going to be absolutely huge. Moving on over to the left, trying to get a flank, wrapping over to this building, still keeping that corner on the right side. Will try to close in on Impact Afro using that vision that will be gained from the right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got 3 guys sharing one building. Impact Afro, the only one outside, so he's going to be the one that has vision of all 3 of them if they have to come out. He's also the only one currently in the safe zone. So right now, he gets all the information. The other problem is that everybody has to come to him, so everybody's going to be looking that direction. So we'll see how he decides to play this, if he decides to play safe or start taking shots as soon as he sees somebody coming towards the safe zone. They are going to have to all exit this building, though.
Orange Morange does not want to have to exit that building at all. We do see Full Nelson still hanging out right near this dumpster, moving back and forth, trying to see if he can see any extra information. All these players just e-nassing all over the place, trying to avoid any shots that they can. Full Nelson inside of the truck. We already mentioned that they do need to rotate at some point. Impact Afro going to be able to get some shots into the truck, but that will reveal his location. T-Reigns going to close in right now. Shots coming from all angles. Impact Afro needs to figure something out here to try to stay alive, getting some really good shots into T-Reigns. Player behind him, though, crashing in. T-Reigns is going to go down, but Full Nelson goes right into Afro, trying to cut him down to size. Orange Morange still hanging out inside of the building, trying to avoid this fight. Full Nelson going to go down here. Impact Afro versus Orange Morange. Orange Morange smelling the blood in the water, going to come out of the building here, look for the kill before the player gets time to heal back up inside of the cop car, taking some serious damage. Orange Morange enters this fight so far ahead, but Afro looking to make the plays happen, looking to take first place in our second match of Challengers, getting some shots in right now, jumping all over the place, but just like that, Orange Morange able to come out from the building, clean this one up, and win game number 2 of our Challenger Series.
Impact Afro, though, going down in second, but I do believe he takes that down with 8 kills. All would have had 9, tying the record for the tournament for the weekend, but he is going to go away with $1,000 for that second match.
Whew, man, I did not blink during that at all. My eyes feel like they're going to fall out of my head. What a great game of H1Z1. And in a few seconds here, we're going to be able to actually check out the standings, see where everything did fall. And as you did mention, Impact Afro with those 8 kills going to be getting that $1,000 here. But now on your screen, you can see Orange Morange going to reign supreme here, gets that 1 kill in the end, the most important kill in that match, going to put him on top in an absolutely an incredible amount of points coming out there. 175,000 points do come for that first place finish. But right now we actually have on the floor Kelly for a quick interview with one of our players.
That's right, guys. I got Orange Morange here, man. How does it feel to compete in the challenge finals?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Easy, okay. So going into game 3, you're confident.
Yeah, I was camping all around, and yeah, I was chilling and waiting that the other guys killing each other. It was a nice moment.
How different is this challenge tournament going than how you normally play?
Excuse me?
How different is it playing in this setting than you do playing at home?
I'm pretty nervous because I know I play for a lot of money, and when the last guy was leaving, I was very nervous.
Yeah, tournament jitters, right? And for $15,000, that's a big deal for first place, man. And good luck going into game 3. Orange Morange, guys, give it up for him. And guys, we'll be right back with game number 3.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Orange Morange was also one of those players who qualified on the road to